Welcome once again inside our New York studios. Brent Stover alongside Cardale Jones and Kevin Carter. What a game in Tuscaloosa. A heavyweight showdown in the SEC inside the top 11. And Oklahoma was able to go on the road and win it. 23-21. Kalen DeBoer has got him fired up. But the problem is Ty Simpson, it was a bad pass right there, picked off by Eli Bowen. This would be a huge play, a catalyst to kind of get the Sooners going in this one. They led 3-zip, and he brings it back, zigging and zagging his way down the sidelines. 87-yard pick six, 10-zip. Then 10-7, a booming punt sends Ryan Williams back. On the return, he's hit, he fumbles. Oklahoma able to recover the football. Another huge Bama miscue right there, Kevin.
Ensuing Oklahoma drive, John Mateer is going to call his own number, finds a lane and bounces off a defender for the 20-yard score. Sooners up 17-7. Alabama looking to answer on the next drive. Simpson to a wide open Josh Cuevas, and he can walk straight into the end zone for the 24-yard score. Crimson Tide down 3 at the half. Second half, Alabama down 20-14. Simpson, pretty sideline throw, connects with Isaiah Horton out at the 3-yard line.
2 plays later, direct snap for the Crimson Tide. Hill punches it in as Alabama retakes this lead 21-20, and then 39. Simpson, he is hit, and that is a fumble, people. Oklahoma would recover this, and this would lead to a field goal, a go-ahead field goal for Oklahoma, 23-21, and now Bama with a chance for a comeback here. Ty Simpson dropped back, looking downfield. This thing is broken up by this unbelievable Sooners defense as they come up big and show why they're a top defense of all of college football. Caleb DeBoer's first home loss as Alabama's head coach.
Previously 12-0, 23-21 the finals. You mentioned the Sooners 8-2, 4-2. The Tide 8-2, 6-1. So still a ton to play for, obviously, for the Tide when you're talking about the college football playoff, and really for Oklahoma as well. Simpson throws for 326. It comes in the loss. Hill had a couple of touchdowns, but John Mateer and company get the road victory. He goes 15-23, 138 rushing touchdown. I know the big thing for you coming out of this was Oklahoma and that defense with some pivotal plays, particularly down the stretch of that game.
I'm really impressed with the way Oklahoma came out and played today, but look, this time of the year, you have to understand, teams have an entire body of work seeing how you do what you do. And for Alabama, it was manufacturing offense without utilizing the run. And they've been winning games this way, and they proved that they really did not need it, right? Remember those 4 ranked wins that they went on earlier in the season? Ty Simpson carving everyone up. But now you get to November and you get to conference play and you get to a familiar opponent, someone who knows you well, someone who can take a look at all of what you've done and how you've made hay and set out to stop that. Top 5 defense, Brent Venables came on display today. I love how they mitigated only 80 yards rushing for the Tide. They tried to commit to it early, but it did not work. Everything they tried to dial up did not work versus this Oklahoma team. And without running the ball on offense, Alabama proved that just trying to throw the ball wasn't enough. I think they would have had more luck just lining up and letting Ty Simpson try to throw for as many yards as they could. Also putting them in harm's way, maybe throw a few picks. But that would have given them the best chance to win, not being one-dimensional like they were today.
You know, unfortunately, one-dimensional was the kind of the storyline of the last couple of weeks for this Alabama offense and this team, period, because they can't find a way to manufacture yards on the ground. And you cannot do that when you got a team like Oklahoma, top 5 defense in the country. They only giving up less than 10 points a game. And you think you're going to be one-dimensional versus this team? They showed you early as you continue to go back and drop back and pass with a pick 6. And then also getting to Ty Simpson with some of the best pass rushers of all the college football in that front 7 that they have with a fumble that ultimately led to a field goal to seal the deal for these guys. If I'm Alabama, in these next few weeks, I got to find a way to manufacture some offense on the run game.
His first home loss for Kalen DeBoer. He was previously 12-0 as the head coach at Alabama. You know, he was under fire early on. Going back to last year, you lose 4 games, including that bowl game where a lot of his guys were either injured or opting out or transfers, that whole situation. But 3 losses prior to that in the regular season. This year, the early loss to Florida State. But, man, they had really rectified things and were having a phenomenal season and still can. Do you feel like the fans in Tuscaloosa, and look, college football fans are going to be what they are, and we love it. It is what makes the sport phenomenal, but it also, the pressure on these coaches and players is a bit much at times. Are they going to be on his back all week long because it's a home loss? Or or is this a little more forgivable because it's the 11th ranked team in the country and you're still 8-2, 6-1 in the SEC, and still very much in the playoff mix?
Well, you're talking about a place like Alabama. I mean, the expectation is to go out here and win every game you line up against it, no matter who the opponent is, no matter where the game is played. You can play in the backyard. That fan base is expecting you to win that game. But I think I'm starting to believe more and more in Caleb DeBoer as his tenure at Alabama continues to extend, because some of the things he's able to do. You can't deny his record versus top opponents. You look what they did earlier in the season with a very limited running game, as we mentioned earlier, going into Athens and snapping Georgia 30-plus game home win streak versus an opponent of that quality. I still think they're a top 2-3 team in the SEC, and clearly the name of the game now is getting to the college football playoffs. Before, there's one slip-up, really two slip-up, losing to Florida State early will cost you your whole season. Everything they want is still right in front of them, including the SEC championship game.
And to your point, when you look at how they're manufacturing their wins and how they came up a little short today, you're right. Everything is still in front of this Alabama team. But in terms of the fan base, look, man, they're unrealistic and down in Tuscaloosa, because this is the first home loss for Alabama since 2019 in conference.
Yeah.
So, look, this organization isn't used to losing games, especially the way they lost this game. The only thing, the drawback that I will say, if they actually have a bona fide gripe, is how this Alabama team was devoid of evolution as it pertains to the run game. As you go through the season, when you recognize something that's a weakness that you don't have, the great teams, they look to beef themselves up and improve in that area. And this is one of those things, those glaring weaknesses that we saw early in the season as they got pushed around in week 1, but they went on a run where they really didn't need the run and the strength along the line of scrimmage. And here they are at the 11th hour against the top 5 defense. And, oh, yeah, they needed some semblance of a run game. So I think, if anything, the fans are going to have to complain about the lack of evolution in this offense. Ty Simpson still playing great. The defense coming alive. You're still in a position, a very enviable position, because right now we believe that 10-2, depending on who your head-to-head matchups are against in the SEC or the Big Ten for that matter, will probably get you into the college football playoff.
Home against Eastern Illinois, a tune-up for that Iron Bowl game against 4-6 Auburn on the road to close out the regular season. Quickly, we got to hit Oklahoma because they're 8-2 with 2 games left of the regular season. Both home games against Missouri and LSU. They can finish 10-2 with 2 high-quality wins following this one up. I mean, for Venables, which it's been kind of mediocre since he got there, this has the opportunity to be a dream season, and this was a huge reason why today in Tuscaloosa.
Yeah, we made this comment earlier about teams just flying under the radar and let everyone else beat each other up. But I think Oklahoma is in the same situation that Tennessee was in last year, where a lot of things outside of their power is going their way, on top of them taking care of business when they really need to. Finish the season 10-2 and let whoever going to play in the SEC championship game, because I don't think Oklahoma's in position to, can put them right in that position for that 11, that 10, that 9 kind of ranking in college football playoffs. So as we talked about how many, because it's inevitable, how many 10-2 SEC teams really get into the playoffs.
And for that matter, look, when you're looking at this Oklahoma team, look, they found a way that works for them, right? You're talking about, look at their record, look what they were able to do against Alabama today. This team has found a way that, you know, the mathematics, properties of mathematics don't really hold true, right? 212 usually isn't more than 406. Well, it is with 3 turnovers. Talking about the total yardage comparison between these 2 teams, that's how 212 beats 406, is when you have a defense that turns the ball over 3 times and gives you a win. So right now, Oklahoma should be riding high and resting on their laurels, because their formula in the 11th hour against a ranked team, it worked.
Only losses for them this season, Ole Miss as well as Texas. They win in Tuscaloosa 23-21 here on Saturday.